Hello students, continuing Gmat/CAT series, today's first question is, given that 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square so on up to 10 square. So this is the sum of first 10 natural numbers is given to be, squares of that is 385. Now what is the value of 3 square? We need to find the value of 3 square plus 6 square plus 9 square plus so on plus 30 square, right? So now if we see this is 1 plus 4 plus 9 and here it is 9 plus 36 plus 81 plus so on plus 900 and here it is plus 100, right? So we see here the series, it has been multiplied by 9. Here again it has been multiplied by 9. 4 into 9 is 36. 9 into 9 is 81 and the last one 100 multiplied by 9 is 900. So simply if I take out 9 common, I would be left with 1 plus 4 plus 9 plus so on plus 100, right? Or I can say this is 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square so on up to plus 10 square. So simply if I need to find the value of this, I need to multiply this sum which is given to us as 385. So 9 multiplied by 385 will be the answer. So now if we multiply this comes out to be 3465. So 3465 is the right answer. Right answer for this will be option E. Two numbers differ by 2 and sum to s. Which of the following is the greater of the numbers in terms of s? So let us suppose we have two numbers x and y and the condition is x is greater than y. So two numbers differ by 2, that means x minus y is equal to 2 and sum to s. So that means x plus y is equal to s. Now we have to find which of the following is greater of the numbers in terms of s. So if we add this, we will get 2x equal to s plus 2, right? From here x will be equal to s plus 2 divided by 2. Now splitting the LCM, will get s by 2 plus 2 by 2. So this will be s by 2 plus 1. So this is the larger of the number because in difference we have put it at the first point. So larger number will be s by 2 plus 1. So right option for this question will be s by 2 plus 1, option number D is the right answer. The figure shown above consists of 3 identical circles. Now this term identical circles means whenever you encounter this term identical circles, this means that the circles are having same radii. That means their radius is same. So that are tangent to each other. If the area of the shaded region is 64 root 3 minus 32 pi, what is the radius of each circle? So such kind of question always comes in most of the papers. So let us try to solve this. So basically this is a triangle which has been formed by joining the centers of 3 identical circles. Now there is one more part that is like this and like this, right? Now we have been given the area of the shaded region is this, right? So this is the part of the circle on this side, and on this side, right? Now this is the radius of the circle. So radius is these are identical, so this everything, let us suppose the radius of the circle be r. Now this triangle A B C, we need to find basically the radius of this circle. So the triangle is, and this is an equilateral triangle with side 2r. So area of equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 side square. From this it becomes root 3 by 4, side is 2r. So this will be 2r whole square. So this will be root 3 by 4 into 4r square, or this will be root 3r square, right? So this is the area of the triangle. Now if we subtract this, now equilateral triangle, this will be 60 degree, right? And this is a sector. So area of sector is represented by pi r square theta upon 360 degree. Here theta is 60 degree. So this will be pi r square 60 degree upon 360 degree. So this will be pi r square upon 6, right? So this is basically the area of one sector. Now we have 1, 2 and 3 such sectors inside the triangle. So multiplying it by 3, I will get 3 to pi r square upon 2, right? So this is the area of these 3 sectors, shading this region, this area and this area. Now if I subtract the area of the whole triangle and subtract the area of these sectors from the area of triangle, that is root 3 r square minus pi r square upon 2. So this will give the region of this region, right? So we have been given that the area of the shaded region is 64 root 3 minus 32 pi. Now if we compare this, here root 3 and root 3 So that means r square is equal to 64 or r is equal to 8, right? Or minus pi r square by 2, pi r square by 2 is represented by 32 pi. Pi gets cancelled, r square is equal to 64. So again r is equal to 8. So you can compare it from any of these two, right? So the radius comes out to be 8. So the right option for this question is option B, 8. Right? Now since you have calculated this, and this question most of the times comes in other form in your question, in your paper. So you must remember that root 3 r square minus pi r square by 2 is the area of the shaded region. How it came? Side of the triangle is 2r. So root 3 by 4 r square, 2r square minus 3 times area of one sector. If m is an integer and m is equal to 10 raised to power 32 minus 32. What is the sum of the digits of m? So basically m is an integer and m is equal to 10 raised to power 32 minus 32. We have done one question like this in our previous series also. So let us suppose we start with the sequence 10 raised to power 1 minus 32. So this is basically 10 raised to power 2. 100 minus 32. So this will be 68. Now 10 raised to power 3 minus 32. So this will be 1000 minus 32. So it comes out to be 968. Right? 10 raised to power 4 minus 32 will be 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 32. So this is basically 9968. Right? Now 10 raised to power 5 minus 32 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 32. So this will be equal to 99968. Right? So what we are trying to establish over this, we are trying to find the sequence. So see, when the power is 10 raised to power 3, that means 3 zeros, the number of 9s is 1. So when 10 raised to power 4, number of 9 is 2. So that is when the power is 3, number of 9s are 1. So the sequence becomes the power, let us suppose the power is n. So number of 9s will be n minus 2. And in the last we will be having 6, 8. So when it comes to 10 raised to power 32 minus 32, so it will be having 9. Number of times it will be having 9 will be 32 minus 2. So that will be 9 into 30. So the number would be 999 repeatedly 30 times. Right? Plus 6 and 8. You need to find what is the sum of the digits of m. So 9 would take place 30 times plus 6 and plus 8. So this is basically 93270 plus 14. So this is basically 284 will be the digits, sum of the digits of m, where m is equal to 10 raised to power 32 minus 10 raised to power 32 minus 32. So sum of digits will be, right option will be option number D. Whenever such kind of question comes, you try to make the sequence. Try to understand the sequence, that how many times the number is getting repeated. So I found that in 10 raised to power 4 minus 32, number of 9s are 2. So that means power of 10 minus 2 will give me the number of 9s, and the rest 6 and 8 in the units and tens digit. In a numerical table with 10 rows and 10 columns, each entry is either a 9 or a 10. If the number of 9s in the nth row is n minus 1 for each n from 1 to 10, what is the average arithmetic mean of all the numbers in the table? So we have been given that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So there are 10 rows. So these are 10 rows and 10 columns. So I will mark it like this, 10 columns. Right? Now, in a numerical table with 10 rows and each entry is either a 9. So either it is 9 or 10. If the number of 9s in nth row, so in nth row, number of 9s is n minus 1. So in first row, number of 9s will be n minus 1. So that will be 0. So these are 9s. In second row, number of 9s will be 2 minus 1. That is 1, 9. Okay. So 9 will be 1. And rest will be 10. Right. So carrying on this sequence, in third row, we will be having 2 9s. Right. So basically, we will be having 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus so on up to plus 9. So in the 10th row, we will be having 9 9s. Right. So this will be multiplied by 9. right? So this will be 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 0. So total it will be 17 23 29 34 38 41 43 and 45. So there will be total 45 entries, of 9 in this whole 10 by 10 row and column structure. Now how many hundreds will be there? Sorry, tens. Then either they are 9 or 10. So tens will be total, the number of entries is 10 rows, 10 columns. Total number of entries will be 10 into 10, 100. So out of 100, 45 entries are of 9. So 10 number of entries of 10 will be 100 minus 45, that is 55 entries will be of 10. So we need to find the arithmetic means. For that we need to multiply 45 into 9 plus 55 into 10 to get the total, and dividing it by the total number of spots, which are 100, right? So 45 into 9 is 405 plus 550 divided by 100, right? So this will add up to 550 plus 405 will be 955 divided by 100. So the arithmetic mean will be 9.55. So right option for this question will be option number C, 9.55. Option C is the right answer. In 2004, the cost of 1 year-long print subscription to a certain newspaper was $4 per week. In 2005, the newspaper introduced a new rate plan for 1 year-long print subscription, $3 per week for the first 40 weeks of 2005 and $2 per week for the remaining weeks of 2005. How much less did 1 year-long print subscription to this newspaper cost in 2005 than in 2004? So first of all, we will find it for year 2004. So in year 2004, the cost of subscription was $4 per week. So multiplying 4 by number of weeks is 452. So you'll get the cost of subscription. So 52 multiplied by 4 is $208, right? So this is for year 2004. Now for year 2005, it says that $3 per week for the first 40 weeks. So for first 40 weeks, 3 into 40 plus $2 for the remaining will be 52 minus 40 will be 12. So this is 120 plus 24. So this will be $144, right? Now he asks what will be the, how much did 1 year long print subscription to this newspaper cost? So how much less is this from this? So that will be 210 minus 144. So this will be 8 minus 4, 4 and 10, $64. So in year 2005, for subscription, he has to pay $64 less than the year 2004. So right option for this question will be option number A. Option number A is the right answer. A positive number integer n is a perfect number provided that the sum of all the positive factors of n, including 1 and n, is equal to 2n. Right? So what is the sum of the reciprocals of all the positive factors of the perfect number 28? So first of all, he has introduced as a definition that a perfect number is a number which have sum of all the positive factors including 1 and the number itself equal to twice of that number. Right? So we need to find what is the sum of reciprocals of all the positive factors. So first of all, we will write down the positive factors of 28. That will be, first will be 1, and on this side it will be 28. Now here it will be 2 and 40. 3 is not divisible. 4 or 4 it will be here 7. Right? Now 1 2 4 7 14 28 5 6. So these are the total positive factors of 28. Now the question asks what is the sum of reciprocal of all the positive factors. So we need to do reciprocal. So that is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 7 plus 1 by 14 plus 1 by 28. Now see, all the factors, all these factors will be the multiple of 28. So in the LCM I can write 28. Right? So here it will be 1 plus 28 divided by 2 is 14. So here it will be 14 plus this will be 28 divided by 4. Here it will be 7, and then 28 divided by 7 will be 4 plus 28 divided by 14. So that will be 2, and 28 divided by 28 1. So here it will be 1. Sorry, 28 is here it will be 28. 28 divided by 1 is 28. 1 into 28, 20. Now you see in the numerator, these are all basically the sum of 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, 28. 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, 28. So basically it is the sum of all the positive factors of 28, and we have been given that the sum for a perfect number, it is always equal to twice the number. So that is twice into 28. So this sum will eventually give us 2 into 28 divided by 28. So sum of all the reciprocals of the positive factor perfect number 28 will be 2. Right? So the right option for this question will be option number C. Or you can check by adding all these number 28 plus 14 will be 42, 49, 53, 55 and 56. But you need not to add these just because we have been given that the perfect number is that number which have the sum of all its positive factors equal to twice of that number. So this sum will eventually give us 2 twice into 28, which is 56. The infinite sequence a1, a2, so on up to an is such that a1 is equal to 2. So a1 is 2, a2 is minus 3, a3 is 5 and a4 is minus 1. And an is equal to an minus 4 for n greater than 4. So what has been given that for n greater than 4, that is n starting from 5. So a5 will be equal to an minus 4. So that will be a5 minus 4, which is a1, and this will be equal to a1 equal to 2. So a5 will have the value of 2, which is a1. Now for a6 we will be having a6 minus 4, which is a of a2, so that will be minus 3. a7 will be a7 minus 4, a3, so this will be 5. And a8 will be a8 minus 4, so a4, which is minus 1. Now we have been asked what is the sum of the first 97 terms of the sequence. Now we are able to see that the sequence is like this, that after every 4 numbers in the sequence, it repeats in the pattern of 2, minus 3, 5 and 1. Right? So that means 97, the nearest number below 97 is 96, which is a multiple of 4. So this is 4, 2, 8 and then 16, 24. So 24 times this cycle is getting repeated, and then after 96 over here, it will have 97, which will be the first term 2. So in the 97th sequence will have a97 will be equal to 2. Now 24, for 24 cycles, the sum will be 2 minus 3 plus 5 minus 1. So this is 2 plus 5, 7 minus 4, 3. So this will be 24 into 7 minus 3 is 4, plus this 2 for the 97 sequence. So this will be equal to 24 multiplied by, this is 5 plus 2, 7, 7 minus 4. So this is 3, 7 minus 4, 3. So this will be 24 into 3, 72, 72 plus 2 is 74. So the sum of 97 terms of the sequence will be 74. Then the right option will be option number B, 74. The sequence A1, A2, so on up to AN is such that an, we have been given the pattern of the sequence is an equal to twice an minus 1 minus x. So that means an minus 1 is one term less than this, minus x for all integers n greater than equal to 2. So starting from 2, the value of n. Now a5 has been given to us as 99 and a3 equal to 27. So what is the value of x? We need to find the value of x. Now first of all, we have been given a3 and a5. Now a4 will be equal to twice of an minus 1, that is a3 minus x, right? But a3 is equal to 27, so I can put the value of a over here, a3 as 27. So this is a27 minus x. We need to find the value of x. Now a5 will be equal to a5, because both these values have been given to us. So a5 will be equal to twice of a4 minus x, but a4 is equal to this, so I will put this value over here. So this will be twice, this will be 54 minus x, a4 minus x. Now a5 is given as to us as 99. So 99 will be equal to 54 into 2 is 108 minus twice x minus x, right? Now from here, if I shift 108 to this side, so this will be 1999 minus 108 equal to minus 3x, and this will be equal to minus 9 equal to minus 3x. Minus minus gets cancelled. Now x will be equal to 9 by 3, which is equal to 3. So the value of x is 3. So right option for this question will be option number A. Right? A window is in the shape of a regular hexagon. Now there are two terms. One is hexagon and one is regular hexagon. So what is the difference between regular hexagon and a hexagon, or any n-sided figure, polygon or regular polygon? So the difference is that in regular hexagon, each side will be equal. Each side will be equal. Right? You must know this fact. Now I will first draw one regular hexagon. Hexagon is that figure which is having 6 sides, and since it is a regular hexagon, so it will be having all 6 sides equal. So let us suppose this is a regular hexagon, A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? Now we have been given that each side is of length 80 centimeters. So this is 80. So each side will be 80. Right? Now if a diagonal through center of the hexagon is W centimeters long, so through the center of this diagonal from any two opposite vertices you draw a diagonal, so this is W. Right? Then W is equal to. Now first of all, we must know that in case of any regular polygon, the figure is divided into that equal number of sides of a rectangle, equilateral triangle. So basically a regular hexagon will be divided into 6 equilateral triangle. Now this will be 60 degree, right? And this will be the half of the whole W. Now since this is an equilateral triangle, so this is also 60 degree, this is also 60 degree, and this side is 80 and this side this is O. So AO will be equal to 80 centimeters, right? Now AD is equal to twice of AO, which is AD is basically W. So this will be twice of 80. So this will be equal to 160 centimeter. So this is basically conceptual based question where you should know that in case of any regular figure, right? Let us suppose it is a regular pentagon, then it is divided into 5 equilateral triangles. So the right option for this will be option number D is the right answer, the length of the diagonal. In the figure shown, PQRSTU is a regular polygon. So now this is regular polygon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is basically regular hexagon with sides of length x. So PU, UT, TS, RS, QR and PQ are all of length x. What is the perimeter of triangle PRT? We need to find the perimeter of triangle PRT in terms of x. So first of all, I will draw this figure. Regular polygon PQRSTU. So this is PQRSTU. From here, join PR, then RT and PT. Now this is x, 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 x. Now if you see clearly, PQR, triangle PQR, triangle RST, triangle RST, and triangle PUT, or you can say triangle PUT. Right now, in this, each of the two sides are equal, and this angle is also equal, contained in these two equal sides, so that we can say all these three triangles are congruent. Right, with the similarity, SAS similarity, right? Because this is regular polygon, so each of the interior angle will be equal. Right now, if you want to find, I can tell you that sum of interior angles is always equal to n minus 2 into 180. This is an additional information I am giving to you. So number of sides are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 minus 2, 4 into 180 degree will be the sum of interior angles, which is equal to 720. Now dividing it by number of angles are 6, as 6 sides or 6 angles, so this will be divided by this. So this will be 120 degree will be the measure of each angle, right? So this is also 120 degree, this is also 120 degree. So these triangles are congruent. So that means PR will be equal to PT will be equal to RT, or in other words, I can say that triangle PRT is an equilateral triangle because all of its sides are equal. Corresponding sides of congruent triangles are equal. Now, or I can say we need to find PR plus RT plus PT. Or if I able to find one side, then it will be thrice of PR. Now let us dive into a triangle QPR. Right? In this triangle, I will draw it separately, QP and R. Right? So QPR, drawing a perpendicular from the vertex Q. So since this is an isosceles triangle, so the perpendicular from the vertex containing equal sides drawn to the third side bisects the third side. So this will be equal to PR by 2. Right? So let us suppose PQRSTU, this point is V. So PV will be equal to, now this is 120 degree. Now in this triangle, this angle and this angle will be equal. Angles opposite to equal sides are also equal, and this angle is 120. So the sum of these two angles will be 60 degree. So this will be 30 degree and 30 degree, making the angle sum property of a triangle that the angle of sum of three angles of a triangle is 180 degree. Now in triangle PVQ, we need to find PV, and PV is half of PR. So PV divided by PQ, which is hypotenuse opposite to 90 degree, is equal to, now angle, the side adjacent to the angle is base. So this will be cos 30, base by hypotenuse. Now cos 30 is root 3 by 2, and PQ is equal to x. So this will be x. PV will be equal to x. Right? Now from here, since PV is equal to half of PR, so PR will be equal to twice of root 3 by 2x, or I can say it is root 3x. Now we need to find the perimeter of this triangle PRT. So that will be equal to, I have already told you that PR is equal to RT is equal to PT. So that will be thrice of PR. So thrice of PR will be thrice root 3x. So this is the perimeter of triangle PRT, 3 root 3x. Now we will look for the options. So option D is 3 root 3x. So right option is option D. Right? So here we used one identity of isosceles triangle, that drawing a perpendicular from the vertex containing equal sides to the third side bisects that side, And another we used is over here, that in triangle, in this congruency of these three triangles by having two sides equal and the angle in between them is 120 degrees. So with the help of side angle side similarity. So right option will for this question is option number D. In a certain medical survey, 45% of the people surveyed had the type A antigen in their blood, and 3% had both the type A antigen and the type B antigen. Which of the following is closest to the percent of those with the type A antigen who also had the type B antigen? Now let us suppose the number of persons surveyed are X, right? So the percentage of people proportion having only type A antigen in their blood will be 45% of X, right? This is the total number of people surveyed. And the person having both type A and type B antigen will be 3% of X, right? So you need to find which is the closest to the percent of those with type A antigen who also have type B antigen. So that is 3% of X, dividing it by 45% of X, right? So this is basically X gets cancelled, percent also gets cancelled. So you will be left with 3 upon 45, which is equal to 1 by 50. Now you need to find which percentage is this closest to, that means approximation. So if you don't want to divide it completely, you can write it as 1 by 3 into 1 by 5. So if you need to find percentage, we'll multiply it by 100. So this is basically 20%. So 1 by 3 of 20% will be equal to 6.67% approximately. So 6.67% is the closest which are having type A antigen who also had the type B antigen. So right option for this will be option number B. Right? Whenever you are not able to find the percentage in this field, you can just bifurcate it into multiple of 100 and then you can just divide it. So 20% divided by 3 is 6.67. On a certain transatlantic crossing, 20% of a ship's passengers had round trip tickets and also took their cars aboard the ship. So if 60% of the passengers with round trip tickets did not take their cars aboard the ship, what percent of the ship's passengers held round trip tickets? Now let us suppose the number of passengers who boarded are 100, right? Although this would be irrelevant regarding to the question, but it would be easy to calculate 20%, 60%. Now 20% of this, so that is 20% of this will be 20 passengers were those who held round trip tickets RTP and also took their cars, right? Now it says if 60% of the passengers with round trip tickets did not take their cars aboard the ship. Now, so let us suppose these are the total number of passengers and X is the number of passengers who held round trip tickets, right? Round trip tickets. So this is RTT. So first of all, he says 20% of the ship passengers. So ship passengers are 100. So 20% of that will be 20 passengers who held round trip tickets and also took their cars on board the ship. Now, X is the number of passengers which are having round trip tickets. Now, if 60% of the passengers with round trip tickets, that means 60% of X, these are having round trip tickets, so 60% of this, so that will be 0.60X, right? Did not take their cars aboard the ships. There will be only two categories bifurcation of this RTT, round trip tickets, with car and without car. Yeah, these are having car. So this is with car are 20 and 60% of those who held round trip tickets are not having cars aboard. So this is 0.60X, right? So total will be, this is 0.60X and this we have assumed to be X. So 0.6X plus 20 should be equal to the total number of passengers having round trip tickets. Now what we have been asked that what percent of ship's passengers, so total passengers we have assumed to be 100, held round trip tickets. So round trip tickets will be X. So shifting this to this side, 20 will be equal to X minus 0.60X. So that will be equal to 0.40X, or X, the person who held round trip tickets will be 20 divided by 40 into 100. So this will be 2 and 50. So total number of passengers who held round trip tickets is 50. We have been asked what percent of the ship's passengers. So ship passengers are 100. So 50 divided by 100 into 100. So this is 50% of the persons who boarded the ship were having round trip tickets. So right option for this will be option number C. Right? Again, we will just analyze this question. First, he says that on a Atlantic crossing, 20% of ships passengers. So we assume ships passengers to be 100 for convenience. So 20 out of them held round trip tickets and took cars also. Right? Now he says he introduces another category if 60% of the passengers with round trip tickets did not take their cars aboard the ship. So round trip tickets have been bifurcated into two, that one without car and one with car. With car is 20 because we got it from 20% of the total number of passengers, and 60% of the passengers with round trip tickets. So 60% of x is 0.60x. So 0.60x plus 20 should be equal to the total persons with round trip tickets. So from here we got number of persons having round trip tickets equal to 50, and dividing it by 100 we got the percentage that 50% of the passengers are having round trip tickets, which have been further divided into two categories, with car and without car. Right? If x and k are integers and 12 raised to power x multiplied by 4 raised to power 2x plus 1 equal to 2 raised to power k dot 3 raised to power 2. What is the value of k? Now, since here these are in the basic form 2 and 3, we need to break 12 and 4 into the basic form. So I can write it as 12 raised to power x, or I can write this as 2 square into 3 whole raised to power x. So this is 2 square 4 into 3 12 multiplied by 4 can be written as 2 square whole raised to power 2x plus 1. So basically this is a question of exponents and indices, and I have made a separate video regarding the basic concepts of exponents. Now we know that a raised to power m raised to power n is equal to a raised to power mn. So now opening the brackets, I will get here 2 raised to power 2x dot 3 raised to power x dot 2 raised to power 4x plus 2. Fine. On the right side it is 2 raised to power k dot 3 raised to power 2. Now when bases are same, powers gets added. So this will be 2 raised to power 2x plus 4x plus 2 dot 3 raised to power x equal to 2 raised to power k dot 3 raised to power 2. So this implies 2 raised to power 6x plus 2 dot 3 raised to power x is equal to 2 raised to power k dot 3 raised to power 2. Now inequality, when bases are same on the left hand side and right hand side, their powers can be equated. So we can equate the power of 2, that is 6x plus 2 will be equal to k, and x will be equal to 2. So the value of x is 2. Putting this value over here, we will get the value of k. So 6 dot 2 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. So k will be equal to 14. So this is a basic question regarding exponents and indices. I have made a separate video on this. You can go and watch that. So the value of k is this, and the right option is option E, 40. If S is the sum of reciprocals of 10 consecutive integers from 21 to 30. So S is basically sum of reciprocals. So that will be 1 upon 21 plus 1 upon 22 plus 1 upon 23 plus so on plus 1 upon 30. So this is basically what S represents. Now then S is between which of the following two fractions? Now see, if we are given the sum as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is basically 6, 5, 11, 15, 18 and 20. Right? But if I calculate 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 5 plus 1 by 6. So as 1 by 2, 1 by 3 will be having value less than 1 by 2. 1 by 4 will be having less than 1 by 2. 1 by 5 will be having less than 1 by 2. Fine. So as the denominator is increasing and numerator is same, the values are decreasing. So the greatest number will be 1 by 20. So I can say that 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20 so on 10 times. So this is basically 10 times 1 by 20, right? So this is equal to 1 by 2. So this value will be less than this value from this fact, right? Because it is here 1 by 20. So it will be less than 1 by 2, right? Now 1 by 30 is the last figure. So if I add 1 by 30 10 times, 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30 plus 1 by 30. So this will be so on 10 times will be 10 times 1 by 30. So this will be 1 by 3. So this sum will be, this is the lowest one. So this is the order. This is their values order with respect to 1 by 21. And 1 by 21, 20 is here. So the values will be, these values will be having value less than this, right? 1 by 20 will be greater and greater than 1 by 3. 1 by 30 will be over here. So these all values will lie between 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. So right option will be option number A. That these values will lie between 1 by 3 and 1 by 2. Right? You can have this check from, we add it in the numerator, then taking the reciprocal, we will find that all these value will subsequently have decreasing values with respect to 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 will be 1 by 20, adding it 10 times will have value greater than all of these, so it will lie on one side, it will be 1 by 2, on another side 1 by 3. So the value, these values will lie between 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. For every even positive integer m, f of m represents the product of all even integers from 2 to m inclusive. For example, f of 12 is 2 into 4 into 6 into 8 into 10 into 12. Fine. What is the greatest prime factor of f of 24? So as per the definition, we can write f of 24 as starting from 2 into all the product of all even integers, 10 into 12 into 14 into 16 into 18 into 20 into 22 into 24. Fine. Now the question is, what is the greatest prime factor of f of 24? So first of all, we will try to bifurcate it into small term, small prime numbers. This is 2. 4 can be written as twice of 2. This can be written as twice of 3. 8 can be written as twice of 4. 2 raised to power 4. Now 10 can be written as 2 into 5. Now up to this point, 5 is the greatest prime factor. Now 12 can be written as 2 into 6 or 2 into 2 into 3. Right? 2 to the 4 to 3 is 12. Now 14 can be written as 2 into 7. Now up to this point, we can consider 7 as the greatest prime factor. Now moving to 16. So this will be 2 into 8 is 2 raised to power 3. Now 16, now 18 is 2 into 3 square. Now 20 is 2 into 2, 4 into 5. Now 22 can be written as 2 into 11. And last is 2 into 24, 2 into 12. So that means 2 into 2, 4 into 2, 8 multiplied by 3. So now in all these, now we have prime factorized it. So the greatest prime factor available to us is 11. So 11 is the greatest prime factor of f of 24. So right option for this will be option number E. Right? Thank you for today. Bye bye. Take care.